Hi. Hey. Hello. Welcome to the Loft, episode .5. My name is Colin Andrews, and I will be your host for the foreseeable future. First off, I want to do this at the beginning of every episode. Mental health check. How are you feeling? How are you? How is everything panning out with you? Are you feeling all right? Are you drinking enough? If not, go get yourself a cup of water, because this won't be as long as the usual episodes because it's kind of introductory, but it'll be an episode for sure. So yeah, this is the Loft. I changed the name because why? So why is this called the Loft? Well, it's called the Loft because right now, and I'll get into this a little bit later, I live in a loft, and by a loft I mean a bed that has a TV and my laptop on it, which is where I record all my videos now, in an RV, which once again we will get into, but that's why it's called the Loft. And I kind of like the idea of a loft, this kind of private place that's away from the world where we can all come in and just, hang out, talk, enjoy each other's company, things like that. And so yeah, especially in the time that we're living in right now, I know that the worst of it is over, but things are still going on. So we gotta be safe. We got just a nice secluded area for us to rest. Maybe at the end of your day, you got done working, got done from school, just taking a break with me if you want to. If you don't want to, that's also okay. So yeah, that's why this is called the Loft. I decided to change the name because there were some good comments brought up in my update video, and I kind of agree with them. So why am I making a podcast? I love talking to people. I know this is more of a form of talking at people, but I've always liked doing that. I've always enjoyed having an open communication with people who are involved with me directly in my success. So I want to do that. I want this to be just an open space. And I also had a podcast back in the day called Banter for Two. Back in the day, just like less than a year ago, half a year. And that didn't really pan out precisely that well. So now we're here. And this is the Loft. So what's this about? Whatever I want to talk about, really, to be honest with you. I told you guys in the update, if you watched the update, that I will be taking requests. If you guys want me to talk about anything, if you guys want, have any issues going on in your personal lives that you want to talk about, all that stuff, I'm here to just be not a vessel, but I just want to be here for you guys. It's really important to me. So yeah, it's just about whatever. Again, I said mostly I will talk about movies most weeks, just because I watch movies and I go to movies, and that's kind of the one of the main parts of my life, contrary to my video production and the stuff that I'm putting out. But yeah, so I guess now we can talk a little bit about me, because I don't know if you guys really know that much about me other than what I've said in my videos. So we can do that. How about it? So my name is Colin Andrews, as you have seen in the videos at the beginning. I am 24 years old, so I'm a little bit older than most of the people here, but that's okay. That's all right. The social media will make you feel like an old man at a very young age. God. I lived in Michigan for most of my life. I graduated with a film and video production degree, hence why I like movies so much. And I what do I like? I love basketball. Playing, I'm not the best. If I'm playing for you, you can expect probably 3 points, 3 rebounds, 8 assists. I'm more of a playmaker type guy. I'm not really flashy on the stat sheet, but I can get what needs to get done. But I mostly like watching basketball and basketball YouTubers. I think that. Oh, I'm a music guy too. Yeah, and I'm going to be making music. It's a really weird constant cycle where I'm attempting to figure out what I want my style to be. Some days I sound like Rex Orange County. Some days I sound like Hobo Johnson. Some days I sound like 42 Doug. It's a weird balancing act that I really don't have down yet, I don't think, but I want to get down. You know what I mean? I want to be able to produce that stuff. I'm working on a song right now called I Miss My Cat, because I do miss my cat. My girlfriend got him. I don't miss my cat that much because I just misgendered it. I miss her a lot because she went down to Kentucky with my ex-girlfriend. Don't worry, we're on very amicable terms. She's one of the most wonderful human beings in the world. So that's that for that. I love writing, obviously. I write these video essays in a day, so I love doing that. It makes me so happy more than anything in the whole world. I'm working on a feature script called Suburbia, which is about a kid who's 18. He's a senior in high school, and both of his parents die, and he has to figure out a way to kind of exist on his own because he's 18. He's not going into the foster care system. He's a power of attorney for them completely. Power of will. He got everything, and so he has this house now. Doesn't really know what to do. He's still in high school, and it's about him figuring out his direction in life. But also, it's kind of not about that, but I don't want to give it away just in case I put out anything about it on this channel. And I don't know. I like watching Jeopardy. I'm pretty good at Jeopardy. I'm not going to be one of those people who gets everything right, and I do just yell out random answers a lot, but I have a lot of fun with Jeopardy. Jeopardy is cool. I'm a reality TV junkie, which is weird. Most people in my crowd don't either like that about me or understand it whatsoever. But Big Brother, The Challenge, Survivor. I tend to avoid dating shows, but I'll get sucked into Love Island UK sometimes. That's my jam. I'm sorry I'm laughing. I'm nervous. That's why I'm laughing. So yeah, I guess and I make YouTube videos here on Entertainment. And I love making YouTube videos. It's my passion. This is what I want to do with my life, for sure. Unless something at a higher level is offered, but I also don't know about that because I really value and appreciate the level of independence on YouTube. You can't get that anywhere else in the media industry. You can just be yourself, do what you want to do, try and fund yourself the way you want to fund yourself. And I think that's such a brilliant opportunity for this new generation of filmmakers, media talent, you know what I mean? So I like it a lot, and I want to do this for a living. So let's talk about my living situation now. Speaking of living, what a wonderful segue, right? I am currently living in an RV. It's a very small RV, and I'm living in it with one other person. And we're driving it around the country right now. We're still in Michigan right now. I'm going to say where because I don't want to, and maybe I'll reveal it in the vlog series, which I'll talk about later also. And I don't know. It's something I've always wanted to do, and I've saved up enough money. This is a point where I can go. I can just go around the country, and I can do what I want, how I want to do it, and it's a wonderfully beautiful freedom to have at such a young age, and I will never ever take it for granted. And I'm really excited because I worked my butt off. I was working during COVID basically the whole time, and you get $2 pay plus. And because my job didn't really have that many people working, I managed to get a couple of raises out of my job. So I saved up a lot of money. Worked like 60 hours a week for a while. It was really hard, but this is such a wonderful payoff for it. So yeah. And I'm going to be making vlogs. So the plan is at least until October, starting in August, mid-August-ish, maybe September, we're going to be going to a state every week. So that's why I'm thinking about doing weekly vlogs, and each vlog will be titled A State. You can tell me if that's a good idea or a bad idea in the comments. I'm completely open to changing things. As you can see, this is called the Loft now. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm really excited to see where this year, because we're doing this for a year, starting in August, because we're kind of docked somewhere and we're just kind of figuring everything out. with the RV because, it's not a house. It's a pretty big endeavor. We have to figure out how to dump our feces and that stuff. And we have to figure out all the mechanics and how to drive an RV, which is this giant thing. And let me give you an idea. It's not a huge RV. It's not one of the ones you see where it's like towering. It's only 32 feet long, which I know sounds long, but in all reality, there are some people who have giant buses that they use. So it's pretty nice, though. I like it a lot. And I like my workspace. I have a little office secluded in the corner right by the bathroom. By the way, put an Igor poster on the bathroom door, so that made me really happy. I don't know why. Every morning when I wake up, I look up and I see a picture of my beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, a poster, Call Me By Your Name, and the lighthouse, and that kind of inspires me for my artistic endeavors that I take throughout the day. So now you know a little bit about my living space. Let's get into some more podcast content, I guess. How am I doing? I'm doing good. I'll be honest with you. It's a little sad because the channel was getting bigger very fast. Not like bigger because the J Schlatt blow up that I had a year ago will forever probably be the biggest blow up that I have, where it was, I don't know, I think we got almost 2,000 subscribers in a month or something like that, and that was insane. But 400 subscribers in a month is really good. The Smosh video is almost at 100,000 views now, and now we're reaching the point where none of my newer videos are old enough to really hit that trending, you know what I mean? And it's starting to slow down. And naturally, you can't help it as much as you tell yourself when you're a creator, and you always tell yourself it's going to come back. You know what I mean? There's always this constant fluctuation within progress and art and popularity and things like that, unless you're just super successful and know how to play the game better than anyone else does. But naturally, when you come to this sort of homeostasis in your progression, you do kind of feel a little bit sad about it. So that's where I am. I'm feeling good about the opportunities that I've been given, but I am feeling a little bit sad about constantly gaining and losing subscribers because I was in that stasis for a while. Before the Red Letter Media video came around, I was in that stasis for a pretty long time. But yeah, and now I'm going to be uploading consistently videos every other day, starting Wednesday. I'm taking a little bit of time off. I'm going to take off Monday, not upload a video, and just make sure this video is ready to go. Maybe get another video in the pipelines almost ready to go. So, but I'm so excited. You have no idea how excited I am to really work for this and grind for this and just go for it. Yeah. So let's talk about something else, other things other than myself. I feel a little bit self-centered. Movies. How about those movies, huh? It's finally coming to a place where the movie industry seems normal. Films are getting released in theaters and also on streaming platforms. Last night, I watched False Positive on Hulu, and I really, really, really did not like it, surprisingly. It's an A24 film, and usually A24 films, as everybody knows, are at least competent. Like at least a 5 or a 6. But this one was just not really good for me at all. Alana Glazer, who I think is a really, really great comedic actress, has the same look on her face throughout the entire movie, regardless of what emotion she's having. And her trying to be shocked is kind of one of the funniest things ever. Pierce Brosnan was gorgeous, though. I think the gray hair suits him way, way, way too well. But yeah, it's kind of all over the place. It tries to be a horror, tries to be a thriller, tries to be a drama, tries to be psychological, and it doesn't really work at any of that because you don't exactly know what they're going for. There's not a clearly defined vision there, and that's kind of what holds it back for me personally. I saw The Boss Baby back in business, and I didn't hate it, which is super, super weird. I hated the first Boss Baby. I think everyone hated the first Boss Baby. And this one, because the first Boss Baby didn't have a point. It was just dumb humor. And this one, surprisingly, and I think this works with what it's trying to do, has more of a message about family. And I know that the family message memes with Vin Diesel have been going around, but it's more competent. There's some really dark humor in it, surprisingly, to make me question the motives of the writers and the director. But I didn't hate it at all. It was all right, especially towards the end. And very, very, the dumb humor is still there, of course. The shit humor, all of that stuff. And that can be really annoying, but I didn't hate it at all. So take that as you will. I haven't seen Black Widow yet because all of my friends are saying that it's mediocre, it's mid, and I don't really know if I want to see it because I hate Marvel movies so much. And I'm so sick of seeing superheroes everywhere, man. I know superhero fatigue, it's so incredibly real. It's boring. I'm sick of seeing the same action scene 14 times. Do you know how much of a slog Zack Snyder's Justice League was to get through? I never take pauses in the middle of movies, but I took a pause in the middle of that when I was at my apartment with my girlfriend. I took a pause and I literally ordered Denny's because I love Denny's. So, sidebar, Denny's is amazing. I love Denny's so much, not because of the quality of food, the quality of service. Those are all awful. Denny's is objectively one of the worst restaurants to ever exist. That being said, Denny's hopelessness and the depression that emanates from it and just seeing the name Denny's really matches up with my mental state a lot of the time. So I'm one of the biggest proponents for Denny's ever. When I was living on campus in an apartment, and my friend Trent, who I'm going to try and have on this podcast at some point, would come over and we would just eat Denny's. We'd go to Denny's at 2 a.m. We would both have school the next day. And then we'd come home from Denny's, we'd sleep in my apartment, and then we just wouldn't go to class the next day. And instead, we'd get a Taco Bell 12-pack and eat that in approximately 7 minutes. To understand the levels, in the depths of horrid hatred for ourselves that we were at. So that's my sidebar about Denny's done. I don't even remember what I was talking about particularly. I watched the first 2 Fear Street movies, and I loved them a lot because they're really, really good horror schlock films that we really don't get in the 2010s anymore. Just good schlock that doesn't rely on jump scares and instead relies on trying to develop their characters, but not exactly doing it the best way. So it ends up in being like a mediocre product that you do really enjoy because there's heart behind it. I think the second one's better than the first one, definitely 100%. Simply because of Sadie Sink. Man, what a wonderful performance from Sadie Sink in the second Fear movie. I don't even know if I said the right title for them, but hey, it's the ones that are on Netflix, and that's the best thing I can say about it. I watched the Tomorrow War. God, that was awful, huh? Tomorrow War, more like never watch it. Chris Pratt still tries to be a good leading man when he kind of has the same Ilana Glazer thing, where he has the same facial expression on his face. He emotes better, but he has the same face on in every single situation. What's that about? Also, why spend that much money on such a mediocre project? I don't know. Amazon Prime really has such great movies, and then they have absolute stinkers. There's one that I want to make a video on, I think, called Bigfoot, UFOs, and Jesus. And it's a Christian film. And I really, 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 really want to make a video on that. So let me know in the comments if you want me to make a video on that. I made a video about this film called Agent Jade Black. And Agent J Black is one of the best worst movies that I've ever seen, and I love delving into that absolute trash pile on Amazon Prime because they have the best ones. Because you can basically get anything uploaded to Amazon Prime. 1 second. And I want to do that. I want to go in and make more videos. Maybe like a bi-weekly video on just Amazon Prime trash. I think that'd be a lot of fun. So let me know if you're interested in that. I watched The Forever Purge, and I don't really have anything to say about that. It's just kind of boring. It's better than the last Purge movie. The one that's in the inner city that Marissa Tomei is in, I believe. It's either Marissa Tomei or Melissa Leo. I do not remember which, because it was very unmemorable. The acting's better, but man, really, really hammering in all of those that forced social commentary. Kind of rough, but you take what you can get at the theaters nowadays. Very, very excited for next week because we have Escape Room 2 and Space Jam 2. And come on, 2 films of magnificent proportions that I think are both so bad they're goods. I love them both super dearly. Obviously, Space Jam is better than Escape Room, but man. Cannot wait to watch both of those and make a video on the Escape Room franchise. And I think because I put on a poll on my Patreon, which you can go to at patreon.com/entertainment. And if you want to support me, you can sign up for any of the tiers we have, because I think they're all pretty solid tiers worth the value that you're going to be paying. Hopefully. I didn't consult with anyone, but I just, woman's intuition, if you will. And for $3 a month, you can get access to polls that I'm doing for content that I'm making. And because there's only one person in the tier for that, I'm going to be making a video about the escape room movies and maybe escape room movies in general, because there's way more of them than you would realize. So I'm really excited to go see that and make that video next week. So let's talk about something else because I told you guys in the last video, I was like, hey, please leave me some whatever in the comments of this video. Let me know what you would like me to talk about. If you have any questions, if you have anything along those lines. And we do have one. We do have one from Blaine Robinson. And the great thing is, sorry about that, my mic just got hit by me. There is someone in the comments who already replied to this and gave a very, very thorough and good response, and that's what I love to see here. I love to see people that are in the comments supporting each other. That's like so great to me. And this is actually a really good question. It is kind of, he's not sure what he wants to go into for college, and his parents are kind of pressuring him in a certain direction, and that's such a common thing. And here's the trick that you do for that, I believe, because I'm kind of in a situation that you were a little bit. I wasn't pressured from my family at all, but I was pressured from society, kind of. I know that sounds super corny, but people tell you to go to college and go for a job or a degree that can get you a job that will provide immediate financial stability. So the one that I went into, which I do think I am genuinely good at, is I went into education, secondary education, high school education. I love kids. Please do not clip that out of context. And I love teaching kids and working with them in different ways. In high school, I made a lesson plan for my World Geo class that my professor, who also shared the same name as me, Colin, shout out to Mr. Uren, worked with me, and it was super, super, super awesome. And it was for the Civil War reenactment. We did a reenactment of the Civil War. It was so, so cool. We picked like sides, stuff like that. It was just, we gave people individual roles and they had to write papers about what their roles were. And at the end we had like a giant Nerf gun war. outside in the soccer field. And I think stuff like that, because I wanted to be a history teacher, because I think that history is such an interesting and unique subject that people aren't utilizing to its full potential. If you ask a lot of students, they don't like history. They don't like social studies very much. But you can make it such a fun subject by getting people involved and getting them invested. Because essentially, I know they're real people, but when you're studying history, you're studying characters. And if you get the people invested into a character specifically, you got them. You got them on the hook, man. So, and I was really into education. I just told you about how I would love to have run my classroom, but I took 2 years of education. And the problem was I started more and more to realize what the problem was. And that was I wasn't going to be able to execute my vision within the Common Core standards that we needed to abide by for education. So I switched to film and video production. So the best advice that I can give you is for your first year, you don't have to technically declare a major. You can be undecided, and that's completely okay. Most kids in college have no idea what the hell they want to do until they're a junior, essentially. In fact, I knew a lot of juniors who didn't know what they wanted to do. It's totally acceptable, and people who are pressuring you to think that for you to automatically be know what you want to do at 18 or 17, it's bullshit. It's just bullshit. So what you got to do, because this will appease them, at the same time give you opportunity. Just take all your gen eds first. First year, you should be able to take a lot of gen eds. I'm assuming probably 5 classes per semester. That's how it usually works. Maybe 6, maybe 4, somewhere in there. You should be able to fit 10 gen eds into a year. I think so. Because I did that my first year. And while you're taking these gen eds, regardless if you're living on or off campus, go find clubs that you're interested in. 1, it'll help you make a lot of friends at your college. 2, you'll be able to more accurately discern at a higher level what you're really interested in. I'm sure that your university has a website or something along those lines, and you can find, depending on how big your university is, just about a club for anything. And the most important thing, take your time. Don't rush it. If you're feeling rushed into something, it means that you're not 100% certain about it. And you need to be 100% certain about it when you're going into such a big thing, you know? You're essentially dedicating your life to this now. You're choosing a path that will determine the rest of your life. So you want to just ease into it. That's the best advice I can give you. So gen eds, first year, look for clubs that you're interested in, kind of play it by ear. Let your parents know that you're actively looking for a path or a choice or a life, Tell them that you're really taking the time to think about this. Not because you're irresponsible, but because you want to be 100% sure what you want to do. And unless they're completely strict assholes, they should hopefully understand that. You know what I mean? So yeah, I hope that was somewhat helpful. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. You'll never know. Well, you will know because you're in that situation, and you can just don't even listen to me. That's yeah. Oh God. So I guess that's the podcast. This is a very short episode. It's about half the time that I'm going to make normal episodes. Normal episodes are going to be an hour every Sunday. And this one's a little rushed because I am literally recording this 2 hours before this goes up. So yeah, thank you so much for listening. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you to my patrons, Weston Kentucky and Carl McGee. And thank you to my producer, the BC Film Reviews. Once again, I hope that this podcast goes off without a hitch. I hope most of you enjoy it, kind of, at least a little bit. Sorry about the lack of cover art. Until I find a cover art that I like a lot, I'm going to just use different lofts. Why not? I think that's a fun idea. So I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Enjoy your weekend or Sunday or Monday, whatever time zone you're in, but it's Sunday for me right now. And I will see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.